Fearscape Media Network, exploring the unknown, one podcast at a time.
Fearscape Media Network is your new home for everything weird and enlightening. Check out podcasts and YouTube shows covering content from discussions on horror films to the paranormal to meditation. Find out more at fearscapemedia.com.
Hi, do you enjoy diving into true crime
and tales of the paranormal?
Then join us. I'm Anna.
And I'm Lindsay on our podcast, Ghosts in the Attic, Bodies in the Basement,
A Fearscape Media Network podcast.
New episodes air every other Friday on wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Coming to you from nowhere, a suburb of parts unknown. Your ghoulish hosts for an evening of terror, Stefan Gearhart and Lance Wayne, the Misters of the Dark.
Good evening, dear friends, and welcome to another terrifying episode of Misters of the Dark, the greatest horror podcast in the history of horror podcasting. As always, we are beaming directly to you from nowhere, a suburb of parts unknown, and I am your headmister, Lord Stefan Gearhart. Lord Stefan Gearhart! Anytime, Lance!
I'm your co-mister, the man with no name, Lance Wayne.
Jeez! Finally, that's it! I'm done. Lance, listen to me. You have spent the past week moping around and going through those old family albums for hours.
What's wrong with wanting to take a stroll down memory lane, Stefan? What's wrong with getting back to your roots?
Lance, those pictures aren't even of our own family. We took them from those yuppies that we killed for camping in our backyard a few weeks back.
I know, but Junior has been asking about his grandparents lately.
Junior?
Stefan, why do we always have to go through this?
I will have you know, my dear co-mister, that you will address my baby nephew by his birth name. Now show some respect. He's a great old one for old God's sakes.
Okay, fine. Well, you see, Junior has been asking about his grandparents lately, and I just don't know what to tell him. Mom was never really around, and I don't even know who my father is.
Hey, have you ever thought about who could possibly be your father?
I think I've narrowed it down to two.
Ooh, really? Do tell.
Well, due to the horns I have protruding from my head, I believe it's either the lead singer of Lordy or the Goat Man.
Very, very interesting, dear brother.
Well, how about you, Stefan? Have you ever...
Freddie Mercury! Duh!
Freddie Mercury? What makes you so sure?
Due to my natural charisma and lovely singing voice!
Okay, I'll give you that, but Stefan, you do know he was...
the greatest lead singer of all time.
Well, yeah, but he was also...
the greatest front man of all time.
Okay, but he was...
the greatest entertainer of this or any other generation?
You know what? Just forget it. Ignorance is bliss, I guess. But hey, say, while we're on the subject, why don't we pull out the hit list and talk about some freaky fathers that make our family look like the Waltons? Well, the Waltons if they happen to be in a cult.
The Waltons weren't in a cult. Yeah, seriously, I mean, the Waltons were totally a cult, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to talk about, on this week's hit list, okay, let's talk about freaky fathers. We got Father's Day coming up, right? You know,
we do, yes.
And I can't send a card to Freddie Mercury because he's dead, and George Washington does not owe us any more favors. So.
Yeah, well, he's dead amongst other things. But
yes.
Go on.
Yes, okay. But yeah, so we'll talk about let's say our top 5 favorite horror fathers, our favorite freaky fathers. That's what we were going to talk about. And hell, maybe one of these could be your dad.
Maybe. Well, maybe no. You're...
I mean, look at you. You know, I mean, this could be like an inspiration for one of these characters. Could have been your dad. Your dad could have been Ed Gein. I mean, you'd be way older than you are now, but he could have been Ed Gein.
Yeah, known to the ladies as Ed Lane.
Oh, yeah. He on that 90% meat, 10% fat. Ooh, lean. Or Ted Bundy, he did a lot of women. But
Gacy was down with the clown.
Yeah, he's down with Brad.
You always use these instances to like just insult one of our friends.
Hey, you know what? He was on the Killer Clowns from Outer Space episode. It was a perfect segue, okay? Not segue. That implies I'm going to talk more about clowns. I'm not. But yeah, so do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, so then let's see here. These are in no particular order because these are all perfect male role model figures for fathers, so I couldn't decide which one. So I'm going to go first with I think this one's kind of a classic. I feel bad about it, but I mean, I can't. Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Yep, good one.
Because he starts out, he's a pretty goddamn good dad.
He's got a history, though.
In the beginning.
He did break Danny's arm.
It was an accident.
Okay, Shelley Duvall.
You will call me by my stage name, which is Olive Oil.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Speaking of horrific, boy, she looks gross these days. Like, I heard she was like a bag lady now, but then that wasn't real. No offense, Shelley Duvall. I don't mean anything.
No, you spent our entire last episode bashing Adrienne Barbeau. Now you're going to go after poor Shelley Duvall.
Well, I mean, she's just, I don't know. She was always such I don't know. She always played such a meek. Well, I mean, she was meek, but I mean, she played very meek. What's homely type.
You know, oddly enough, this is so crazy. We're actually on this subject, but I actually came across like a picture today that was her. I guess she started off as a model. But it was her in 1971.
I mean, you know, models are always super skinny.
Yeah. I mean, there was a reason she was olive oil.
She did not lose any weight for olive oil.
No,
but Robin Williams did do extensive front arm curls to get muscles on his front arms.
Yeah, he did. I looked this up, people. It's true.
The internet is 100% accurate, people. But yeah, Jack Torrance, man. He is the best horror father because, you know, the kid trusts him. You know what I mean? It's like there's that trust there, whether it was an accident in the beginning or not, or all that stuff. The kid kind of believes in his dad, and it slowly erodes over time to the point where, I mean, he's being chased. It reminds me of my childhood with Mom when she would chase me to whoop my ass.
Yeah. But honestly, this might sound strange. I don't know. Stephen King might agree with me because, you know, he's notorious for hating this film, hating The Shining. But see, I think the relationship gets fleshed out a little bit more with Dr. Sleep. because there's that scene.
Now that I agree. Yes, I love Dr. Sleep. I have not. You see, the director's cut is dropping, or has already dropped on HBO Max. Yeah, there's a director's cut that's supposed to go even deeper into all that. So.
We even remember we saw it together. We even kept saying it was over the top, but with ghosts. Yeah. Another father-son. Another father-son story.
Over the Top is a goddamn cinematic classic.
Yeah.
The Lone should have won a freaking award.
but this was over the top with ghosts.
With ghosts. That's exactly what that fucking movie
I mean,
was.
there's that really, there's a lot of like pretty intense scenes in that film, but I gotta say, the one that always sticks out to me is when he's confronting the ghost of his father in the bar. Yeah. And he's telling him about what happened to his mother and things like that. I mean, I don't know. I think that adds. I mean, that's what a good sequel's supposed to do, is add to the story as just sort of sponging off of
it. It's not just another story that takes place in the hotel like a lot of sequels would.
Yeah.
But Jack, I think, Jack, I've never read the book all the way through. I've read pieces of it here or there, so I don't know the comparison, but I thought Jack Nicholson was frightening in that movie. Of course. While at the same time, he was relatable. Like, that's the worst part. Yeah. Is that you relate to this motherfucker the whole time. Yeah. Like, you're just like, I get you, dog. I would do the same shit. So
yeah.
I'd even bring an axe to Shelley Duvall, but know that her bone is gonna break that axe in half.
Shelley Duvall, she can't swing one hell of a baseball bat, though, man.
It's because her arm is a baseball bat.
Okay.
Actually, it's more like a broomstick in Hell's Kitchen for stickball, but you know what I mean. But yeah, anyway, so that's my number one is Jack Torrance from.
You mean your number 5?
Whatever, number 5. I don't care. I told you I'm not going in any order.
I'm going 5 to 1. So. All right. Well, okay, my turn, I guess. Mine. I kind of wanted you to go ahead and go first because I don't have a whole lot to say about this one because he's kind of as much. Okay. I haven't brought it up so much on this show. I did on the other show, The Antagonist, which is on hiatus. But
that's German.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. But anyway, but hiatus.
Hiatus. No, that's not disease.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the hiatus.
But my love for the TV show Dark Shadows.
Of course.
Yep. And my number 5 is Roger Collins. Do you remember Roger Collins? Because I know you've seen a little.
I've seen quite a bit over the years.
Brother of Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just picked him because, for one, I just want to talk about Dark Shadows for a little bit, but also because I don't know. He is such a pompous, arrogant asshole, but he's the pompous, arrogant asshole you love for some reason.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just he's got his head so far up his own ass that he really can't see everything that's going on around him. Like the fact that Barnabas isn't all he says he is. But it's like, it's not from like, he's not suspicious, like I said, because he's just so full of his own shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. That's all I really got to say. I know that sounds kind of lame, but I got to talk.
I love that at the start of the series, he was married to Laura Collins, who was his grandmother. So always awkward.
I see. I did not know that because I always start from when Barnabas first shows up.
Dude, those. I think we talked about this on the show actually once before that I sat and tried to watch the first, because it's hard already because it's a soap opera, which means you're getting hundreds of episodes in a season. So it makes it very difficult. But it's like, I tried to sit down and watch up to Barnabas, and man, I maybe got like 25, 30 episodes in, I was like, I just can't anymore. This just feels like Passions. So
yeah, there are just episodes. I love Dark Shadows. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fanatic of it. But, there are just episodes that drag and drag and drag until something happens. So, but okay, yeah, number 5, Roger Collins. Your
Roger. Roger Collins. Come to the principal's office, please.
Oh dear.
Roger Collins. That's a pretty good one. Yep, douchebag. All right, so we'll do mine in order then. So because Jack is on the last part of mine. So number 4 for me. Then I'm gonna go with Freddy's dad. Who was played by Alice Cooper in Freddy's.
We talked from one of my great loves to another one of my great loves. We talked about this one a little bit.
Just a bastard. I mean, he just, they're trying to make us feel for Freddy so they can kill him. And so, but I mean, who better to play Frederick Krueger's father than Alice Cooper, who played him perfectly. And I know Alice, where my memory of that scene and everything gets interwoven with Phil Collins' "No Son of Mine" music video, because that's also about fatherly abuse, and I keep seeing Alice Cooper in that video, and I'm like, God. Alice Cooper in there, I don't think. But
Alice Cooper, he could play like such a good hick for some reason. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
he could play such a good hick.
But yeah, like, he's so good.
Yeah, because he was and he's, I don't know, you would think he was the main character from how they advertise it sometimes, but that John Carpenter film, Prince of Darkness.
Oh, Prince of Darkness is fantastic.
Yeah, he's in that, and he's like the lead homeless person or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, he's always playing these like kind of scraggly characters. But yes, this is one. I even told you, I was like, good pull. I wish I would have thought of it. Flew completely under,
I was surprised. I'm surprised you didn't. Brother dear, because maybe Alice Cooper's your dad.
That would be amazing. That doesn't account for the horns on my head though. What?
Have you seen Alice Cooper's mom and dad? It might skip a generation. I mean, I'm pretty sure his dad is Satan.
Maybe.
Or his dad is DB Cooper.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what he did. He jumped out that fucking plane and then went and took care of his son Alice.
Alice taught him how to put on makeup.
Because he got to hide from the law. That's
why.
That's how he paid for his fucking rock career.
Yeah. The untold story.
The untold story of the Cooper family.
Yeah, all those biographies and everything. Lie! Filthy lies!
But yeah, just to go back, I mean, he's an abusive fuck. I mean, he is your classic stereotypical abusive father, using the belt, the whole 9 yards, to the point where it was so not such a giant role that he was uncredited for a very long time in the film.
Well,
so also, all of us were like,
Doesn't this kind of miss canon or whatever you want to call it, but because Freddy's supposed to be the son of 100 maniacs, correct?
Oh, dude, they have retconned Freddy so many times in its own series.
I know, but even in that film, even in like maybe like the scene before that, remember the kids are chanting at him. He's in the school,
right? He's
in the classroom, and he kills that gerbil.
Well, it doesn't mean that Alice Cooper is his biological father. Then could be just a stepdad, a mom's boyfriend, so to speak.
Well, yeah, and I mean he does, but Alice does say something to him like, They thought they were gonna take you away from me or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Freddy's Dead, to be completely honest with you.
Me too. Like not enough for me to be able to answer your question better. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that's my number 4 is Freddy's father, played by Alice Cooper in Freddy's Dead.
Okay. My number 4. It's a little bit out there. I guess it's not from a horror film, but it's very horror centric. But my number 4 is one of the greatest wrestling managers of all time, Paul Bearer.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South.
Well, maybe
I'm
next
just kidding.
time.
It's always Paul Bearer. Oh,
Undertaker. But oh my God, no, he was not. Paul Bearer was not the father of the Undertaker, but he was the father of the Big Red Machine, Kane, the half brother of the Undertaker.
Oh wait, I didn't know. What, Undertaker had a
You
different
didn't know
dad?
that? Yeah, you thought he was Undertaker's dad too. No.
Oh, I can't remember. My brain's fogged now. I always thought.
No.
Who was the Undertaker's
half
dad?
brothers.
Did they ever say?
Okay. Let me set up the whole story for you.
I mean, I do want to
Undertaker's-
cover. We've said we were going to cover this whole fucking thing with Brad one time in the future to go over the Kane, Paul Bearer, Undertaker fucking family for a show.
Okay, well, I won't delve deep into it, but let me just assure you, it is his half brother.
Okay.
They are half brothers, and I think their last interaction on screen was Kane locked him in a meat locker.
Man's got to eat.
So there you go. But yeah, Paul Bearer. I mean, I don't really know what to say now since we're gonna have that future episode. So be on the lookout for that.
I need to know who's Undertaker's dad is. Maybe Undertaker's your dad.
That would be great. I wish I would have gotten a little bit more of that height from him.
Well, I have the height.
But your dad's Freddie Mercury.
Well, I mean, we are quarter brothers, so maybe.
Maybe I got a little Mercury in me.
You probably would have if he was around.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. He's the greatest frontman of all time.
Okay. But yeah, okay, there you go. Paul Bearer. One love.
Paul Bearer. No, I love Paul Bearer, dude. I'll tell you what, when I was a kid watching 80s WWF when I was a kid, Paul Bearer scared me more than Undertaker did.
No shit.
Paul Bearer
really?
didn't look real to me. Undertaker, like, you were like, this motherfucker's got makeup on. Like, you could tell, especially back then when he premiered with them purple gloves, like,
yeah.
Halloween City freaking costuming back then in WWF. But Paul Bearer, dude, they just accentuated his au naturel look.
Yeah. Did you know I think his real name was Paul Moody. But did you know that he was actually a mortician?
No.
Yes, I swear to God, in real life, he was a mortician.
That makes things even better.
Yeah, because he would like, when they would get the caskets and shit for like casket matches and, you know, just stuff like that when they were due, he would like, you know, consult and stuff.
Wow. Yeah. So here it is. His real name was William Alvin Bill Moody. So William Moody, Bill Moody there. So.
Yeah, he wasn't. You see it?
Yes, he was. I'm looking at him now. And outside of WWE, he was known as Percy Pringle III.
Yep. Percy Pringle.
Oh,
yep.
I hope that's where Victoria named her dog after for Percy.
Oh, yeah. All right, answer us. Shoot us an email, Victoria.
Yeah. He also had ring names as the Masked Embalmer and Dr. Rigor Mortis.
Oh my God.
Fantastic.
Well, you do know that when Undertaker first debuted, I mean, this is like the very first time, and then they ditched it immediately afterwards. But he was known as Kane the Undertaker.
Yes, that I did know. I mean, he was just using his brother's name. So.
Yeah, because it's all true.
It's all true.
It's all
Moving
true.
on.
It's real to me, damn it.
All right. So number 3 for me is another essentially possessed father here is George Lutz from the Amityville Horror, specifically the 70s version with Oh lordy,
John Brolin? It's Brolin.
It is Brolin. What's the younger Brolin? What's his name?
No, he's the older Brolin.
I know that. James Brolin.
James Brolin
is the older one.
Yep, James Brolin.
What the hell's the younger one's name?
John?
Bobby Brolin.
Bobby Brolin? Known to the
January Brolin. Josh
known
Brolin.
To the ladies.
Josh Brolin.
Known to the ladies as Josh Bro.
Josh Bro. Yeah, it's Josh Brolin. That's what it is. But yeah, James Brolin, man, he kills this role because
he does.
I am obsessed with Amityville. Obsessed with motherfucking Amityville. When I was in college, I found the book. I used to work at the library there, and I found the book, and every day I would go up and I would tell my supervisor, I'm going to go clean. I'm going to go rearrange the stacks and do all that. And I would just sit there and read as many chapters as I could get away with, because I, of course, already had books that were overdue, and so I couldn't check anything out, even at the library I worked at. But anyways, so I read that whole book in like a week, and I was just became obsessed with it because I'd seen the movie when I was a kid because Lois Lane was in it, Margot Kidder.
Margot
Which is
Kidder.
why I watched it. I was like, you could see her boob for a second. That was my 13-year-old logic was, oh my God, that's Lois Lane's boob for a second. But yeah, anyways, but I love
you probably lost your mind when you saw Black Christmas then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so this is another case. This is very similar to Jack Torrance. He comes in mildly sane. By the end of it, is a raving lunatic. He has essentially become possessed. In some ways, The Shining does it better, but man, in some ways, this works better because this isn't isolated. This isn't an isolate. Oh, I cannot say that word, bro.
Incident? Isolated incident?
Isolationists. Like the Torrances, they were alone. It was just the three of them, you know. But here they've got friends coming over. They got a priest coming over. They got, all these different things that are happening. They're still living their lives and doing their things. They're having parties. There's a wedding. There's all kinds of stuff. So if you didn't look at it through the lens of, he's being possessed and that's why he's doing all the things that he's doing, you'd kind of think, man, this dude's just having a nervous breakdown and he's kind of an asshole, and he's just kind of 70s abusive to his kids. And like it plays really well. And the difference between this and Shining is there's that moment where he goes, oh shit. And he realizes, and he shakes it off. He saves that damn dog.
He does. He saves that dog.
And so he wins in the end. But I will tell you, because it's based off a real story. George Lutz in real life is a douchebag. I met him years and years ago. I met him and one of the dudes that played Mike Myers. I don't remember which one it is. Or Leatherface. I don't know. One of the ones that don't matter of one of the killers. And the real George Lutz at this, I was like 13 or 14 at this Halloween carnival type thing that my buddy Paul and I went to. And I met George Lutz and he was a douchebag. Like, I was trying to talk to him and he was just like, here is your autograph. But I was like, but I have questions. Like,
haven't you ever seen that documentary though about
the Amityville horror?
Yeah,
yes, with the son, Chris. Yeah, which by the way, Josh from Fearscape told me they are in the process of hopefully getting him on Fearscape. By the way, Chris.
Okay, well, this isn't Fearscape. This is Misters of the Dark.
Just letting you know that that they might be getting Chris because the other Stefan is super excited about it because he loves Amityville horror as well. And anyways, but yeah, that shows you what an absolute abusive fuck George Lutz is. And it's weird because Chris on one hand will be like, he was so abusive. Oh God, yes. He used to talk about all this like supernatural occult stuff and would tell us to do all this stuff. But then at the same time, he was just like, yeah, but this stuff really did happen. This happened and this happened and this happened. So it's like, it's wonderfully confusing. And so, but yeah, George Lutz is a great freaky father. Like, what a great horror dad. Like,
who wrote the book? Did he write the book?
Jay Anson. Jay Anson. He was just a journalist guy that happened to kind of stumble upon the story. I don't recall. I think that, so there's a lawyer guy that I can't remember his name, because when Brad and I covered a long time ago, we did 2 episodes on this, and the lawyer guy, whoever it was originally trying to get a book deal with Ronnie DeFeo, the guy that actually murdered all the people in the house. But that fell through because the family and how he wouldn't receive any money in jail and things like that. So when that happened, it shifted over to George Lutz. And so they had hired Jay Anson, I believe, to write the book. But he was already like, I think he was a journalist, so I think he was already like writing on it and things like that. He also wrote another book called I think it's just called 666, and I think, is that the same person? Let me see real quick, because I just read it last year. I had to like buy it on like thrift books or something like that, because it's been out of print for so long.
The black magic market. We're on a roll tonight.
You are so funny, Lance.
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you are.
You are.
Okay. Amityville Horror. Make sure I got his name right here. Jay Anson, yes. And so let me see here. I believe he. Yeah. So he only wrote one fiction novel. Everything he wrote was like journalistic, was in magazines and things like that. I believe that the Amityville was his first book, the Amityville Horror True Story, but he wrote a novel in 1980 called 666, and I just read it last year. Like I said, I found it on like Abe Books or something like that because it's out of print. It was excellent. It was absolutely phenomenal, and I was like, this would make an amazing movie. And he died like literally like a year later, and it screwed everything up.
And this was his work of fiction?
Yeah, this was his only work of fiction. He was ready to become a novelist and things like that. He was ready to move into that realm, and he freaking died that year. And so I would have loved to have seen a film on this, because it's basically I mean, in a way it's another Amityville. It's about a house that's evil, but God, it's good. It's really good. So
well, anyways, hey, I mean, yeah.
Anyways, when I see you next in person, I will let you borrow that book. So
I don't know if I want to carry around a book that says 666.
But anyways,
you got to remember, in my little side of nowhere, it's located on the Bible Belt.
It's located on the Bible. You just turn it upside down and say, honey, this is 999.
Oh, okay. I bought it for that.
It's just fine.
I bought it for $9.99. Hell of a deal. I got to read it upside down.
I do.
But it's no biggie.
All right. What's your number 3?
Mine is another sort of legendary character. I am going with Dr. Frankenstein.
I'm going to let it slide.
What were you gonna say? Frankenstein?
You and your adopted fathers, get out of here.
I have a complex, okay? I'm sorry. I never knew my dad. My dad's either hanging underneath a railroad track or is off in Finland singing on some concert. Anyway.
Right.
But no, Dr. Frankenstein. And I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I was just giving you shit. Because I'll be honest with you, I almost chose Dracula. Like, for a very similar reason, with his Children of the Night and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really tied to any one interpretation. The one I think of, obviously, is the one portrayed by Colin Clive in the Universal film. And also, I think of the book because I was thinking about this actually earlier today. In the film, the Universal film, he actually starts. I mean, he's crazy. Yes, obvious, but but as opposed to the book where he literally brings the creature to life and then immediately just abandons him.
Ah!
Yeah.
Kermit running across the screen.
yeah. In the Universal film, he's actually caring for the monster.
Yeah, they do play that a lot more. Yeah, they do play that a lot more. Have you seen Penny Dreadful, the show?
Yes.
So
I have.
they really play up that father-son relationship in that. Is where I really think about that father-son relationship. That guy that played the monster in that, excellent. Yeah. What an amazing.
He was in the I think the first episode of Black Mirror, wasn't he? He was the prime minister, I believe.
Oh, I think you're right. Boy, that episode's crazy. But anyways, anyway, but yeah, that really plays up that father relationship, and I think you really see this a lot in the book too, and places like that in Antarctica. When you're really there, when they kind of meet back up and kind of have those final moments, you really see that. I think Dr. Frankenstein accepting the fate of being a father. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. See, I remember because I've read the Frankenstein, the Mary Shelley novel, a couple of times throughout the years, and I tell you, every time I read it, I just grow. I just almost with each reading, more and more I can't bear Henry Frankenstein and his family. No, they just seem they're just so pompous and so foo-foo. It drives me. It's on purpose. I mean, it's Shelley's kind of like, work on the society, satire on the society she was a part of, so to speak. And the monster was the absolute antithesis of that society. So I get that. I mean, she was literally making fun of the people in high society. Which I just watched recently, Shelley, the movie about Mary Shelley, which is I've been wanting to. It's good, and it really talks about how no one wanted to do any of her work because she was a woman. And so she actually, if I recall correctly, in the movie it shows that she published it under a different name at first, under a male name. Oh yeah, because not only was did they not want to publish it because she was a woman, but the subject matter. Oh yeah, especially coming from a woman. Yeah, man emulating God. I mean, people don't. I don't think people think enough. I mean, she was a trailblazer for sure, hands down. But I don't know. Like I said, I go with Colin. I go more with the Colin Clive interpretation of the character. Because as opposed to like the novel where he, like I said, he just flat out abandons them, which is nothing but for the creature to just die. There at the beginning of the Universal film, he's the only one. Dr. Frankenstein's the only one that wants to keep the monster alive. Yeah, it says it's his old teacher and his bride to be and his friend. They're all saying, Henry, or Victor, you need to destroy this abomination. And I don't hate Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the 94 version with Kenneth Branagh playing Dr. Frankenstein, but Clive's is still just his performance. It's kind of, I mean, those Universal movies set the fucking standard, let's be honest. Everybody, a vampire, if it didn't look like Bela Lugosi, people were like, but is it a vampire though? And it's funny because Universal didn't even follow their own pattern. I mean, it's like when you got freaking what's his name, John what's his name, he played the version of Dracula with the mustache.
Holy shit.
Whatever.
I could think of it any other time.
But yeah, like you talk about the most non-vampire looking vampire, it was that. But like other studios, and I mean, look, even Hammer kind of emulated it a bit. And that feel, that use really pulling that aristocrat from Eastern Europe and the like and stuff like that. And they did the same thing. Dr. Frankenstein. I mean, it was like forever. It was kind of like the mad scientist was very much based off of Clive's performance.
Yeah. I always thought what was interesting, about the Hammer films as far as Frankenstein goes was, with the Universal, it was always about the monster. They had to have, he was, even if he wasn't, even if he wasn't in it collectively for 15 minutes, he was still the center. It was the flat head, everything. In those Hammer films, it was all about Dr. Frankenstein. He was the main. Yeah. He was the thread that kept it all together.
Yeah, the story followed him.
Yeah, which I always found really interesting. Seems to me it was always the ones I've seen. He was always creating a different monster in each film.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been a while since I've seen the Hammer ones because they haven't been free on streaming. So
yeah. I used to have a bunch of them on DVD. They're around here somewhere.
They're downstairs in the dungeon. They're downstairs.
Yeah, in the dilapidated mansion. But yeah. Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein, very good. All right, my number 2 is close to home. It's a little personal to me. Because we had Mr. John Dugan on the show, but it's Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's the best dad. I would watch a whole movie devoted to the life of Grandpa.
That would be
because I want to know, was all this shit passed down to him? Or did he start the family tradition? Or was it something that started when he was a kid during the Depression? I mean, if they're in the middle of Texas, they sure to God was, near the Dust Bowl and stuff. So they probably really got hit by the Depression. Did they get drifters and eat them? Like, where's that prequel?
When was that? Yeah.
John Dugan could play his dad.
They're getting it all wrong. I guess they're not getting it wrong. They're getting it wrong because, the cash cow of that series is Leatherface.
It's like people have been clamoring for a movie with Pamela Voorhees, an origin her. So
but I think they should go that route. I was always under the impression though that. Which I don't know, maybe it was during the Depression, I don't know. But from the film that things started going south as far as their family and stuff whenever the what do you call it?
The hammer?
Not the hammer, the thing that goes, how to slaughter a cow.
Oh, the air gun thing?
Yes. Yeah. I always figured that. Gun. So when was that first? What time frame was that introduced?
Yeah,
to?
I don't know. It's a pneumatic gun, so I'm not sure. I'm wrong because also if you think about timing, he would not have been a kid in the Depression because if he was 80, 90 years old in 1974, he was probably 40 or 50 in the 30s.
I think it all started with Grandpa. Yeah, personally, that's just.
But he could have been the father. So, like I said, this could be perfect for John Dugan to still play.
Yes, yeah.
As, just an adult raising some teen kids or some shit, or who, because then those kids go on to have, the even more psycho kids. So, but this is the patriarch of the family. He can barely talk. He can't do anything. And yet these people want to do nothing but please this man.
I know. They're so, that's the crazy thing about him too.
Because he's a provider.
Yeah, it's idol worship, man. They are so just enamored with this. They almost talk about him like he's Thor or something.
Right. Oh man, what if he was you could totally play it as him being Ed Gein and then escaping from prison or something, you know what I mean? Like, and it faked his death and then, went down and lived in a small farmhouse or I don't know, I'm just shit out.
I don't know, man. I don't that could
time for us to write some fanfic.
I know, really. While we're on it though, just you brought up John Dugan, and he was really nice to be a guest on this show. John, they actually have a T-shirt for him on in the official Texas Chainsaw Massacre shop. It's a grandpa shirt, but it shows the photos of him back in the day, like going through the transformation, applying
really?
and it's all going to help him with medical bills. So I just want to throw that out there for anybody that's interested. I plan on getting mine probably tomorrow. So
heck yeah, you got me wanting to look it up right now. Very, very cool. Yeah, we love John Dugan, man, and everybody what a that we've talked to, Michael Berryman, everybody just loves him too. So.
Yeah, what a great guy.
So
He's
cool,
always
man.
Always posting crazy stuff on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I love John Dugan, man. But yeah, Grandpa does absolutely my number 2, and boy, it was a toss up between that and my number 1. Let me tell you. All right, what's your number 2?
Actually, I guess I'm going a little bit back to your number. What was it, 4? I am going with Frederick Krueger
himself.
Yes, because if we're going back to Freddy's Dead, he is a father. He is the father.
You, Frederick Krueger, you are the father.
Oh shit, bitch. Yeah, I don't know. What can you say? Okay, this is called Freaky Fathers. Who would be a freakier fucking father than Freddy Krueger?
Well, I mean, at least he didn't raise her. I mean, at least there's that. I mean, he just let her know, hey, I'm gonna become you, or whatever.
Well, I mean, honestly, in that film, it does depict that at least to me, he did somewhat care for her when she was younger and he was not a nightmare demon. But
well, he liked her because she was a little kid.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, no, I don't know. I can't. I'm gonna have to do better picks next time.
Excellent because you are right. Because there's a lot of debate on this, but Freddy and Frederick Krueger are 2 very different people. Frederick Krueger is a victim of circumstance, whereas Freddy made a choice to become what he became.
Frederick's not really a victim of circumstance.
He was beaten by Alice Cooper. He had a shitty childhood. He was the son of 1,000 maniacs. Like, he was a victim of circumstance.
I can't believe you are. I can't. And I'm the Freddy fans. I can't believe you're defending Freddy Krueger.
He's a man.
Well, shit. I mean, yeah, he had a shitty upbringing. I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean he has to go around and start killing children.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's debate. There's debate that he was killing the children because the parents were douchebags.
There is no debate.
Because they made fun of him when he was a kid and all kinds of stuff, and he was fucked up from trauma.
Sorry, I cannot. Jason, we could sit here and debate that because Jason, I do think he has some pathos, but Frederick Krueger, no, he does not. Frederick Charles Krueger is a fucking scumbag. May he rot in hell.
He is a scumbag.
Even though I love his work.
Yeah, he was a good father for 5 minutes.
He was a good 5 minutes because he strangled the mother, but he left the kid alone.
Yep. I'm gonna let you live. Find some.
Yeah. I'll never tell.
Oh yeah, God, I forgot about that. I'll never tell. Oh, Freddy Krueger. All right, let's get on to our number 1s here. My number 1 freaky father of all time is the Old Testament God. No, I'm just joking. That is my honorable mention, though, is God. I can't say that. This man murdered so many people. He told this dude, hey, kill your son for me so that you can prove your love to... No, I'm just kidding, bruh. And then he told Job, he told the devil, he said, hold up, I'm going to murder Job's entire family, get rid of his stock, give him every disease that you could think of, just on a motherfucking bet. On a bet.
Oh my God, Stefan.
On a bet.
Oh,
honorable mention
right.
is the Old Testament God.
Well, then okay, I'll have it.
Which in some Gnostic texts, if some Gnostic believers believe that the God of the Old Testament and the God of the New Testament are two very different gods, and that the God of the Old Testament was actually an evil, deceitful God, and Christ came along and actually became and kind of overpowered him and became the light side version of whatever.
They had an epic battle.
They did. But anyways, my number one favorite horror dad is Chucky from Seed of Chucky.
Yeah, good pick. Another horror
Chucky.
icon.
I love Chucky as a dad so much.
Oh, I do too.
Oh man, God, I love Chucky.
And even that whole film, far beyond its time, man.
Oh yeah,
way before its time.
People, there is such a disrespect for Seed of Chucky, and it almost ended the damn series.
I did not get it. I loved it.
I love Seed of Chucky, but you and I are also huge fans of Tiffany as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. Jennifer Tilly. Yeah.
Jennifer Tilly is the best, and yes, the child there. What's the damn kid's name?
Glenn or Glenda?
Glenn. Yeah,
Glenn, because they did the whole Ed Wood thing.
Yes, is just an ugly ass doll.
Oh man! And the doll thinks that they're Japanese.
Oh man!
I love that. I love that franchise.
Yeah,
what a franchise!
I do too. And I love the new movies that came out, not the remake, but the new movies that came out, Cult of Chucky and Curse of Chucky. And I'm anxious for this TV series.
Yeah,
but we don't know whatever happened to Glenn. I mean, we
don't.
The screen fades to black as Chucky kind of goes after him, so it's like,
yeah.
We don't ever know what happened to Glenn, so I kind of want Glenn to come back and be grown up. I don't know if the doll can age or not, but I want to see it grow up.
Well, and Chucky in that film, he kind of has a baby face turn, to put it in wrestling, jargon. But he does, because at the end he's just like, I don't want to fucking do this. He's like, I'm fucking Chucky, the living killer doll. And he's like, I got a kid and I got a beautiful wife. And actually, it's Tiffany that ends up kind of destroying the family dynamic.
Yep. And but boy, Brad Dourif as Chucky, I mean,
there's no other.
And I was pretty excited about Mark Hamill being Chucky. And I feel like if they hadn't made him a robot and instead just let him be the soul of a serial killer, I think Mark Hamill's portrayal would have been amazing.
I have yet to see
just being a fucking remake. Robot. It was like a robot.
So have you seen the remake?
Oh yeah, I watched it. It's not bad.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I mean, it's all right. It's just it's AI that got fucked up, and so he's a robot the whole time. I mean, his whole thing is that he's trying to please his master.
Yeah.
Because he's
Which
friends,
is Andy.
And shit like that. I mean, it's an okay movie.
Is it something that you think it could have been like just a completely different movie, but they made it Child's Play just because?
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
Okay.
Yes. I feel like it was some sort of toy, that had AI, and went bad, and they were like, "Hey, we could make this a Chucky movie."
Yeah, isn't that crazy though? How they can do like?
Oh God, like
it's
the
still
movies.
Yeah, it's still an ongoing franchise, but they make a remake while the franchise is still.
It's like, yeah, they made a remake while the franchise was making a
yeah,
because the two movies got really good reviews.
Oh yeah, they were really good films. Yeah,
and it was ramping up for this TV show to be this continuation because where they went in the last two movies was incredible and having
crazy
and everything. I mean, it was like such a cool and having Brad Dourif's daughter in there. Really like that.
Yeah, that was cool. That was awesome. Well, and you know, it's been out for years, so I don't care about spoiling it. But ultimately, having Chucky's soul possess the body of, you know, it be a Brad Dourif. Yeah, I mean, what a just went nuts. I mean, it was just like I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong. Is it Dan Machini? Who
the soundtrack?
No. He's the creator of Chucky.
Oh, duh.
Mancini?
Yeah, it's Mancini. Don Mancini.
Yeah, but it's just like after Seed, he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go nuts with this."
Yeah,
and it worked.
It's fantastic. So
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so Chucky is my number one freaky father. So
good one.
Could also be your dad. You're about the same
size. Maybe. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Friends to the end.
My name's Chucky, and I wouldn't say that if I were you. Heidi ho.
Heidi ho. I'm gonna fucking cut you from it. I love Chucky so much.
I do too. Okay. Well, my honorable mention, you go with God. I'm going with the devil.
I almost thought about the devil too because I was like, I mean, just talking about Damien. I mean, there's so many like Devil's Sons movies out there.
Yeah. Well, you know, we do not know if the devil has if his son has been born yet or not. I have a feeling it's Tom Cruise, but I could be wrong.
Oh, the devil is bad.
Or maybe what the hell's
Tom
his
Hanks.
name?
Okay.
You really think?
Because it's somebody that is going to trick you. Like, we all assume it's Tom Cruise.
See, you got a point. The Tom Cruise must just be an agent for him. But
agreed.
But I was thinking that damn child's entertainer that's on YouTube, Blippy. Nobody's going to suspect him.
Blippy is frightening.
I hate Blippy. May he rot in hell. Along with Freddy Krueger.
I love that our honorable mentions are the polar opposites of. What a douchebag! Yeah. What a douchebag! Hey, God, I dare you to fuck this guy Joe Bub.
Yeah.
Knowing God's never gonna back down from a dare. He was like, "Well, I don't know," and then the devil was like, "I double dog dare you." Well, shit. All right, I'm gonna fuck him up. Here. I'm sorry, I hate to keep talking about the Bible, but man, it's like if you're God and you can do anything, why not actually just give him back his actual wife and actual family and actual things instead of just giving him a new family? Here's your redo family. Boy, you're not gonna be grammatically fucked up over that and treat these kids different.
Because that would be unnatural, Stefan.
Whatever.
All right, well, while we're on the subject of God, you know, my number one is the King of the Monsters, a hero to both you and me, Godzilla.
I can't do that.
Come on now.
Godzilla, man. Godzilla.
Man, teaching his kid how to breathe radioactive breath by stepping on his tail. That's a little too much, but he's Godzilla, so he's the king.
What was the little dude's name? Gazuki or?
No, Gazuki is actually his nephew.
It's like his stepkid or like his adopted kid.
In the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, Manila.
Oh, Manila. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manila is the one I was thinking of. That's his adopted kid.
Yeah.
But I love that. Well, that's when you really first start to see Godzilla. You're like, oh.
Yeah. Godzilla's a good dad, man. He's a
good guy.
He protects them from those. I can't remember off the top of my head, but protects Manila from those. What are they? They giant praying mantis. I want to say they're giant spiders.
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is the spider. Yeah, no. I just recently watched those. I should know. But yeah.
Well, it's in that weird fucking man. That you want to talk about a weird Godzilla movie. Godzilla. What is it? It's not. Is it Godzilla? No, it's Godzilla's Revenge, and it's like all of the like Manila and Godzilla scenes are like the imagination of a small Japanese boy.
Oh, well, only in the American version.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I actually watched the Japanese version, which is the one that is on. Was on. They had all the Godzilla movies up to Godzilla 1985 on HBO Max forever, and so I watched all of them. They were the original Japanese, so you had to watch subtitles. But it was like a completely different ride, man. Let me tell you, bro. The American version made it the dream, but in the original one, they just happened to also be there. So.
I was discussing this with somebody the other day, because I grew up, and I'm sure you did too. I grew up with all of the Godzilla films dubbed, and I remember one of my favorites growing up was called Godzilla versus the Sea Creature. Oh yeah, and in that film, Godzilla fights a fucking sea creature. I mean, I don't know how else. That's the film. But later on, as when I got older, they released the DVDs, and they had on the DVD you could watch it dubbed, or you could watch it with the subtitles. I rewatched that film with the subtitles. That movie involves like fucking acts of terrorism. Oh, it's crazy. It's just all this shit. It's a completely different film. So that's the one with the giant crab, right? Yes. Yes. So yeah, completely different. It was fucking insane. What is that one? Ibira, Horror of the Deep is what it's actually called. Yeah. But yeah, like what? Yeah. Big time terrorists, like all kinds of stuff. And apparently, I'm looking at Wikipedia right now, but it says that apparently it was originally supposed to feature King Kong, but they decided to put Godzilla in it instead at the last minute. So, oh really? Yeah, and so 2 years later came out as Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Yeah, because that makes sense. Because don't they like go to an island and stuff? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been a while. I need to rewatch it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I watched them all. I'm really wanting to continue the series, but I don't want to until I can watch Godzilla 1985. But I cannot find a streaming copy anywhere. It's just missing, and I don't want to watch the American version, which is just basically a sequel to the original film. Get it on Blu-ray. That's how I got it. Oh, I know. I just don't want to pay for it right now. I was trying to find it somewhere else at the time, but it is one of my favorites because it's the first Godzilla movie I saw in the theater. Yeah, I remember you saying that. And it was scary as shit. Yeah, that one is pretty intense. They make him scary again. So yeah, I like that. I like that, man. Godzilla and Chucky as the best dads that horror films could hope for. Well, the first Godzilla film I ever saw even more horrifying than that. You know what it was? The first American version. Yeah, the Matthew Broderick one. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, but I thought it was the fucking awesome when I saw it when I was like, oh, I loved it. I was just happy to have a fucking Godzilla movie. Me too. I loved it at the time. I took my little brother to see it, man. He was hype. He named his boat, like he did the Rain Gutter Regatta and Cub Scouts, and named his boat Size Matters. Man, that was such, oh man. Now that brings me back. The marketing campaign for that movie was so awesome. There's so many like lost like movies that set up sequels, that we never got, and that's one I would have liked to have seen a sequel to that. I think it would. Well, they did. Fun. They did it. They had a animated series on Fox that was much better, which I actually have the DVD collection of that.
Yeah, there's an article that I read that talks about that the animated series was the movie we deserved.
yeah.
But speaking of another one, I just found out there is a fan edit out there of the Super Mario Brothers movie that it is a director's cut. That these people, like, over the last 10, 15 years have been tracking down deleted scenes from Super Mario Brothers because they've never been released. Like, they've just been finding them in private collections and all kinds of shit like that. And they've put together it's got an extra 20 minutes to it or something like that. And it's free on the Internet Archive. And I totally want to watch it. But I mean, they've added new music. I mean, they've been working on it.
I'm gonna have to
totally watch it.
Out.
There's a dance sequence. There's all kinds of stuff.
Oh my god.
So talk about, there's another one that set up this sequel that never happened. So
yeah.
Man. But yeah, so happy Father's Day to all you fathers that actually stuck around and took care of your kids, unlike our dads. Though I do love you, Freddie Mercury. I'm sorry you died.
I love you, Lord. I can't wait for the 7 albums that are supposed to come out. That's true too.
Someday. But yeah, if you're listening and you want to let us know what your top 5 horror fans are, let us know in the comments or
please
anywhere. We'd love to know what your top 5 horror dads are, if they're any different than ours. Because boy, I'm telling you, I mean, I thought of a couple of them that I wanted to put on the list, but I was like, are they horror enough? Are they horror enough? Because Papa Jupiter was on my list there for a Hill.
Oh, good one! Damn.
Yep, he almost made the list.
I almost put Captain Spaulding on mine.
I almost put Captain Spaulding too.
Yeah. So yeah, they're out there. I mean, I know
Darth Vader. I mean,
yeah.
We can count
I noticed that as far as horror films go, it seems like it. And don't, no offense, ladies, they're great. We love them. But it seems like horror focuses more on the mothers for some reason.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's a Freudian because, a lot of the serial killers have mommy issues, not daddy issues. So.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. All right.
And with that, dear friends, we come to the end of another delightfully disturbing episode of Misters of the Dark. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you to the Fearscape Media Network, and thank you to Corey Adams and Ashley Jones Adams from Nothing Wrong for our musical theme.
Uh-oh. Someone's up from their nap.
No. See, Lance, little Junior doesn't care so much about his family's past, just as long as we show him a family's love.
Easy for you to say. He's not trying to gnaw your right eye out.
Oh, the little buddy must be hungry.
Here, so. Hey, didn't we keep one of those yuppies down in the basement?
Oh, that's right.
All right, little guy. I'll be right back.
He's gonna be right back. Oh, but before we go, dear friends, I will leave you with this. Being a family means you are part of something very wonderful. It means you will love and be loved for the rest of your life. Good night.
Okay, buddy. Here comes the choo-choo.
Choo-choo.